The reason most people do not make progress in their fitness journey is because they overcomplicate things way too much. Whenever you ask someone who's in shape and you ask them, what do they tell you? I eat well, I train hard, I sleep, take some supplements. That's it. The reason is because that's all they do. That is it. And you ask them, what type of food do you eat? Oh, a little bit of rice, a little bit of chicken, a little bit of broccoli, a little bit of beef, have some oats, have some protein. See, it's the same foods that you eat. What exercise do you do? Oh, bench press, I do some squats, I do some deadlifts, I do some shoulder presses, some lat pull downs. The same exercises that you do. How much do you sleep? Oh, 6, 7, 8, maybe 9 hours. Boom. Same amount of sleep that you get. But why are they in shape and you're not? This is what I'm going to explain to you. So, when people hear these basic things that they should be doing to get in shape, they start like, oh, fair play, I'll do it. But then what happens is, they either make progress or they don't make progress, and they're like, there must be something else. And then, because you have this thought of there must be something else, there are people who have already thought about this. And then there's people who you start seeing and they post content, and the content is a little bit weird. It doesn't talk about the basics. They say, oh, the carbs are bad for you. No fats. You only need 1,000 calories per day. You should only be eating eggs and red meat. You should only be doing these exercises, or you should not be training at all, or you should not be lifting weights, or you should just do body weight and all this other stuff. It's almost like cults. And because people know that human beings get bored of things, they capitalize on it, they get the attention, and they get you hooked into that. And then what happens is, I don't know what this is called, but when you start to look for something, you actually see it. So, because you believe this so much, the only way to make progress is to quit this kind of food, quit carbs, 100%, quit fats, only have protein, and you're going to start to lose weight. The main reason you lose weight is because you're in a calorie deficit, right? That's the only thing, right? But you didn't see that before because you're like, oh, this is a little bit too simple. It's a little bit easy as well. But maybe you could have lost the same amount of weight and you actually looked better as well. Maybe you had more energy when you trained. Maybe you were in a better mood because you had carbs in you. But now you're like, because you're like, you think it's a little bit more complicated than it actually is. Think about a red car. You're going to start if you start actually noticing for red cars on the road, you're going to see more red cars than usual. This is what you're doing. You're trying to look for results. And you're going to see them like, this is the method. The basic stuff doesn't work. It's this thing here. But the thing is, people will stop doing it because can you eat meat or can you stop having carbs or whatever that is for the rest of your life? Probably not. Can you burn 1,000 calories for the rest of your life? Probably not. And then people, what happens is, instead of going back to basics, they kind of go to their old selves, which is a fat fuck, and they start eating and they gain weight. And then they're like, oh no, when I did the basic stuff before, that didn't work out. So I'm going to have to go on this extreme secret method. This will work. And it works again. The thing is, you could have done that the easier way, the simpler way, and actually looked and felt better and actually kept your results instead of bouncing up and down, right? So, I've got my notes here, right? So, I've told you to stop overcomplicating things. I've told you why people do it. Now I'm going to tell you how to actually get in shape. And the reason and the way you get in shape, guys, it's simple. It's not easy, right? It can be easier, but it's not complicated. The 4 things that you basically have to master are your training, your nutrition, your recovery, supplements. And supplements will only work if these 3 are nailed. You can take every single supplement under the sun, but if your training, nutrition, and recovery are not on point, these supplements will not do anything. Will be wasted money. Only add supplements if you're doing these 3 things really well. So, let's talk about number 1, training. What you want to do, you want to be doing anywhere from 3 to 6 exercises per muscle group per week. So biceps, chest, legs, quads, back, shoulders, 3 to 6 per week. If a muscle group is bigger, then go a little bit higher. If a muscle group is smaller, then do less. For example, myself, I do 4 exercises for biceps, and I do, for example, for quads, which are big muscle, I do leg extensions, walking lunges, leg press, hack squat. What else? That is all I do. Then, of course, you've got things like hip thrust and stuff like that, which does help glutes as well, right? So 4 or 5-ish. For chest, 4 or 5 as well. Hamstrings is literally 1 isolation. Then there's, of course, leg press tells you a little bit as well. So anywhere from 3 to 6, even to is not too bad if your muscle group is really strong, right? Then what you want to do, well, I can't even speak. What you want to do after is you want to be doing from 1 to 3 sets per exercise. Of course, do your warm-up sets, so progressively build up the weight, and then the hard sets should be anywhere from 1 to 3. Most people 2 or 3 would be fine. And what you want to do is train within the 6 to 15 rep range for 80% of your training. So 80% of your sets should be 6 to 15 reps. So let's say for a muscle group, let's say you're doing 5 exercises, right? And you do an average of 2 sets per exercise. So that's 10 sets you do per specific muscle group. 80%, so 8 sets out of 10 should be between 6 and 15 reps. So it could be 6 to 8, 6 to 10, 8 to 12, 12, 15, within there, and you're good. Then, depending on your goal, the other 2 sets could be either, if you want to get super strong, you could be between 4 and 6. If you care more about building muscle, it could be between 15 and 20. That is it. You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's all you want to do. And you want to be training to absolute failure. Failure doesn't mean when your muscles start burning. Failure means when you physically cannot move your muscle anymore. When I'm training biceps, for example, and I'm doing bicep curls, I finish my set. And let's say I'm moving a little bit, my head moves, or I'm grunting and stuff like that, my AirPods move out of place, and I'm trying to set them. I can't do that with one arm. What I have to do is I have to grab this arm and do this. Because by itself, I can't. Sometimes I have to move my neck and do it. Sometimes I'm doing shoulders or lateral raise, whatever it is. After I finish my set, I cannot move my arms for like a good few seconds because they're so burnt. There's so much blood in there. That's how I wanted to train. If you follow me on Insta, you see what I'm talking about when I say train to failure. That's training done. Actually, one more thing. You want to be tracking your training. So you notes, pen and paper, or like an app you could get on Play Store. Just say workout tracker and you find loads of them. Track the weights that you're doing and the number of reps that you're doing. Week by week, you want to be getting stronger. Not every single week, but if you're more of a beginner, you will get stronger every week. But at least every 2 to 3 weeks, you want to be adding either more weight or more reps. If these two don't happen, however, don't happen, but your form is much better, you feel the muscle working much better, and you're able to do your reps a little bit slower, so your overall set time is longer. So before, to do 10 reps, it would take you 25 seconds, but now to do 10 reps, it takes you 30 seconds. That's still good. That's still improvement. That's still fine. That is training. Done. I don't know how long it took to explain training, but I don't think it was a while. I don't think it was a lot. Secondly, nutrition. So this is a little bit trickier, but let me just explain to you. What you want to be doing, what you want to be doing. Protein, you want to be having anywhere from 1.5 to 2.5 grams per kilogram of body weight. Oh, that's a little bit of a wide range. I have 2 then. Boom, that's it. 2 grams per kilogram of body weight. That's all you need. That's your protein done. Then your fat is about 0.8 to 1 gram per kilogram of body weight. Even 0.7 should do the job, but anywhere from 0.8 to 0.9. So if you're someone who's 80 kilos, anywhere from about 60 to 70 grams of carbs is fine. Even around that 55, 60, 56 as well. So 0.7 to 1. Let's say that. 0.7 to 1 gram per kilogram of body weight. So if you're 80 kilos, from 56 to 80 grams, it's all good. Rest are carbohydrates. Now, how do you find out how many carbohydrates you need? Firstly, you need to know your calories. You go on a website called caloriecalculator.net. You fill in your details and whatever it tells you, go for it because it's really accurate, right? From there, you have your protein, then you have your fats. Protein have 4 calories per gram. Fats have 9 calories per gram. What you want to do is take your protein goal, time it by 4, then add it to your fat goal, which will be timed by 9. What you want to be doing then is take the total calorie number given by caloriecalculator.net, take away the sum calories of your protein and fat target, and you have the number that you get, you divide it by 4. And that is the amount of carbs that you need, because carbs also have 4 calories per gram. For example, let's say calorie calculator tells you to have 3,000 calories per day, and you weigh 80 kilos, and you go for 160 grams of protein. That is 720 calories. Then let's make it easy. Let's say 80 grams of fats. Let's say you go for it. That's 720. So 720 and 720, isn't it? Pretty sure it is. Then what you do is 3,000 minus 720, which is 1440. And then you're going to get a number, which is probably going to be 1560. I think it's 1560. Divide 1560 by 4, and then you get the amount of carbs you need. I'm not that smart. Now, in terms of foods, what kind of foods you have? By the way, you can get this information on ChatGPT for free. But people, again, as I said before, like overcomplicate things. That's why you're still watching probably, right? And I'm not scared of losing you here because I don't care. Right? In terms of foods, right? Let's say carbohydrates. What kind of foods you can have for carbs? Rice, veggies, pasta, potatoes, oats, granola, even rice flour. I have rice flour. You can cook and it's pretty decent. Cream of rice, sweet potato, cauliflower rice, sourdough bread, normal bread, roti. If you're Punjabi, you can still have it, by the way. That's like 13 carbs sources that you've got already, by the way. What else could you have? Some juice, fruit juice, fruit juice. Let's give you one more. I don't have it. You got 14 carb sources that you're not going to have them every single day. Oh, I get bored of food. Shut the fuck up. I give you 14 now. Then protein. Chicken, beef, lamb, protein powder, Greek yogurt, lentils, vegetarian/vegan protein powder, vegan chicken/beef or fish, actual fish, mentioned lentils, beans, pretty good. Peanut butter is pretty good. Then you got 11 sources there, by the way, for you. Protein bars, if it's a good one, they're a bit expensive, but they're still alright. Protein shakes, make sure they're a good brand and don't fuck your stomach up. You got 30 in there, lovely. Now, fats, extra virgin olive oil, butter. Chicken thighs can be for protein as well, by the way. Beef mince, 10% or 15% fat beef mince, or turkey mince, which can go for protein and fats as well. Peanut butter, almond butter, dark chocolate. Well, this is on top of my head, by the way, and you already got 8 fat sources. Fats, you don't really need a lot anyway. What else, man? Mention dark chocolate. Some types of granola probably do have higher fats. Don't 9, that's more than enough. You don't need anything else. And then what you want to do with your calories, you want to divide those calories that you have, let's say 3,000, between anywhere from 3 to 6 meals per day. 3 to 6 meals per day. So if you're 3,000, 3 meals of 1,000 calories, or up to 6 meals of 500 calories. Boom. And by the way, not every single meal has to be the same amount of calories. You can have some meals higher, some meals a little bit lower. Ideally, end of the day, you want to eat a little bit less, so it helps you with your sleep. And around your training time, that's when you want to eat a decent amount, not too much, because then you might just puke when you're training, but a decent amount before and after. But that's where majority of your food, and especially carbs, should be. And protein as well. Fats a little bit away from training. Drink about 3 to 4 liters of water per day. You're done. That's nutrition there for you, done. Oh, so it's really, yes, it's super fucking simple. The reason it's hard is people cannot be consistent with it and see the results. That is it. Now, third bit, recovery, sleep. By the way, pretty sure I've got sleep video on things I do to improve my sleep. So maybe you want to watch that. I think it's like 40 things that I do. Nah, it wasn't 40 things, but it's everything I do for better sleep, by the way. So I think you should just go and watch that video. There's no point of me wasting your time here. Or should I waste your time here? No, just sleep 7, 8, 9 hours per night. Just don't be a dickhead and be on your phone before going to bed or watch TV. If you wear some red blue light blocking glasses, I've got them there, but I can't be asked to stand up. You can wear those. Maybe read, meditate, do some breath work, get to sleep. Don't drink too much water before sleep. If you're someone who wakes up quite a lot at night to go for a piss, try to reduce your water intake and drink early in the night. If you cannot, then just have a little bit of salt before bed, because salt will retain water and therefore you don't go for a piss as often. You can wear an eye mask, earplugs so you don't hear anything. Make sure your room is cool so you can have either a nice pack in your pillow or just have a fan. Sleeping naked, I feel, helps me sleep better when I'm naked. I've been sleeping naked for like 2 years, pretty much 2 years now. And then there's other things I've talked about in the video. Then, number 4, supplements. As I said, if you don't do these 3 things right, if you're already not seeing results with these 3 things, then go and fix these 3 things. Because without supplements, you should be able to see progress regardless. If you're seeing results with these 3 things, like your training, nutrition, and your recovery, then consider adding supplements because they will actually help you. Supplements that you want to have are, let me give you some basic ones. Creatine will help you. Anywhere, everyone should be taking creatine, even kids. Of course, protein powder, we've got it. Some vitamin D, especially Asian people, especially if you live in the UK, you don't really get a lot of sun, so vitamin D will help. Ashwagandha can help with sleep, stress management. You don't always need it, to be fair. I think it's a little bit overhyped. Most people don't need it. Omega-3 fish oil, which is, you need that heart, brain, eyes, everything, skin. Take that. And then actual performance supplements. So good pre-workout can really help you. better moments connection, better pumps, better focus as well, so we can push hard in the gym. The one I use are Pump Page and Total War. Those are my ones. Also EVP 3D, I really like that one too, but it does give me some digestive issues, so I don't use it as often. Intra-workout, EAAs, so you can mix them with your water as you're training. So it literally what it does, it's almost like having protein as you're training. So you're training and you're almost like helping your muscle recover. So the fresher, the more hydrated, they can push more for longer. You can train for longer basically with intra-workout carbs. So there's a supplement called Carb Max that you can use if you're training hard, training for longer, you need extra energy when you're training, and plus you're towards the end of the bulk and you need more calories. So you can have a 30 gram serving of Carb Max in your water as you're training. That's 120 calories. Oh, another carb source is honey, by the way. Then, what other supplements do I use? Sleep supplements, so magnesium can really help a lot. Vitamin C can really help a lot. Other supplements I use are Tongat Ali and Turkesterone. Research is mixed here, right? I still don't know if they're doing anything, but my coach told me to do it, so told me to get them, so I take them. They're completely natural, so if you want to get them. Well, these are the supplements I take. I don't think that's it. But now, common mistakes that people talk about, right? People will start doing all of this, they get motivated. That's really pretty simple. Sub told me, right? Start doing it, and then it's been a week. This is boring. Yes, motherfucker. It is boring. There's nothing else you can do about it. But would you rather just be bored for a few weeks? Because the thing is, once you start seeing results, that makes you want to push harder, and it doesn't get boring. Like first couple of weeks of maybe a bulk or a cut, whatever that is, you're not really gonna see a difference. But after 1 month, 2 months, you're like, yo, I'm actually seeing changes. That motivates you, and you don't find it boring. Every session you look forward to, every meal you look forward to, every day you're looking forward to improve, basically. That's what you're trying to do. So it's just at the start, right? And the start bit is actually pretty, depends on what kind of person you're. Sometimes it can be super hard, sometimes it can be super easy. So when I first started bulk, super easy for me, because food is not high, it's medium, and I'm lean and all that stuff. But when I get towards the end of the bulk, it's hard because I'm eating a lot, basically. Cutting as well. For me, cutting, the initial period is really hard because when you're bulking, every now and then you have a little snack, right? Or maybe have a enough plan meal. You have a little biscuit there, a little bar there. Like, it's nothing major, by the way, because you always make it up with other food, but you're not going to be 100% strict on diet. You might be 90%, 95%. Most people probably 70 or 80, which is still decent, right? When I'm cutting, I'm eliminating every single stack that I have, right? And no cheat meals, no nothing. So this first 2 to 4 weeks is pretty hard because you've got these cravings and stuff like that, and it's easy. It's hard, sorry. After that, you get used to it, because after 2 to 4 weeks, you start seeing your abs coming out, you start looking leaner. I don't want to waste this. I don't want to be a dickhead and ruin this, so I will keep and stick to my diet. And then it gets easy, right? Depends on people. But literally, that's all you have to do, what I've just explained in this video. It will get boring. I know it will. But the thing is, actually, yes, I think I forgot. You want to track things. So you want to track your training, of course. You want to track your calories, or you can just make yourself a meal plan, which is much easier. So you don't have to track anything there. You want to track your weight every single morning, and you want to track other stats as well. So how was your sleep? How many hours did you sleep? How was the quality? Your step count, your energy levels, motivation levels. Well, probably say if you got any signs of illness or fatigue. Why? If you track these things, right, you literally be your own coach. And if these things are in a good spot, and if your energy is high, if you've got no sense of fatigue or illness, if your motivation to train is high, if you're feeling strong, and all that stuff, you're on the right track. And you're getting, depending on your goal, whether you're getting or losing weight, in the right track. But if you're tracking these things and you're like, shit, I'm eating this much, but I'm not actually losing weight, and let's say your step count is pretty low, you're like, okay, that's the reason why. So probably should increase my steps by 2,000 and then see for another week and see if my weight drops. You increase the steps by 2,000, oh, my weight drops, boom, that's the sweet spot, let's keep going. And then once you have a week where you see progress from the previous week, do not change anything, because that clearly is working. A lot of people, what they do is they start tracking, it's great, they do a great job with this. And let's say the goal is to lose weight. They've lost weight, lost half a pound per week, they lost a pound per week, let's say, right? You maintain that. To keep doing what you're doing, because that is clearly working. But a lot of people, what they do, they're like, oh, I want to lose even faster, and they drop more food. And then what happens is the energy suddenly drops, the strength in the gym suddenly drops, they feel lightheaded, they feel dizzy, oh shit, I'm fucked. And then they go on a 2-day eating shit season. I don't know, they eat shit for 2-3 days, they ruin the deficit. So if something is working, do not change it. If it's been a week, I've not lost any weight from last week, then drop it. Then drop your food, for example, or increase your steps, right? So these are things you should be tracking, by the way. One mistake talked about it, so it's boring stuff. And if you've seen some results, don't fucking change anything, please. Third, play the long game. I've been running for 7 years. I made a lot of fucking mistakes. Yes, if I did everything perfect, I'd have got what I've got in 4 years. But no one does everything perfect. Everyone makes mistakes, right? So play the long game. People telling me, so I want to look like you and get me to look like you. I'd love that, but it took me 7 fucking years. If you're a complete beginner, you've been out of shape all your life, yes, it's not going to take 6 months or a year. It's probably going to take you 3, 4, 5 years. If not even longer, because I'd like to say I've got more discipline and more self-control than most people do. So if it took me 7 years and I'm more disciplined, I've got more self-control, and I love this more than most people do, and if this is more of a bigger part of my life than it is for most people, then there's a chance it might take longer for most people. Of course, it depends on what your starting position is, right? So play the long game. Because of social media, everyone thinks like the pictures are pumped, their videos are taken, they're fully pumped, and the lighting is good. Or third, they just have great fucking genetics. There are 8 billion people on this planet, and you do not see 8 billion on Insta. You might see 1,000, which is still a very, very number, but in comparison to a billion, it's not a lot. It's a small fraction of it, and that's why you see. Why? Because if you see a normal looking guy, that's not gonna go viral, is it? All these social media platforms want you to keep on the platform, want you to keep. I can't speak. All these social media platforms, they want to keep you on the app so they make money off ads. If they make a normal go viral, nothing is gonna happen. You're not gonna say on the app like, oh, this is, But if you see a video that's out of the norm, whether that's super huge, super shredded, super strong, or the opposite, super scrawny, weak, you're gonna stay there because you're like, oh, this is a little bit unusual. Don't see this often. Let me see this, right? And you stay in the app and make money. So social media has led us to believe that a good physique is easy to get. No, right? Most guys, most people will need to train hard for a good 10 to 20 years to get a really good physique. That is somewhat social media worthy. There's so many guys that you see on the street that have been training for years, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. But just because maybe they're wearing something that's a little bit baggier, or they don't have a pump, I don't think they go gym. So, but they do. You know what I'm saying? So this takes time. By the way, I promise you, if you do these things and you track where you go track, you make progress. If you want to take this to the next level, where you're doing the things that you got to do even better, with the help of someone who's actually got experience with himself and other people, and has made mistakes that you have made and probably will make in the future, there's a call link in the bio. You can book a call with myself and see how I could help you go from A to B and get you to your dream physique. Safe.